A.
You probably already know a lot of words for talking about the environment, pollution, and so on. In this unit, we focus particularly on collocations, words that are often used together. Try to learn these and use them in your writing.
Threats and potential threats to the environment.
Shrinking habitats are a threat to biodiversity in terms of both plants and animals, and endangered species need legal protection if they are to survive. Although some climate change skeptics disagree, most scientists believe that global warming will increase. This will encourage polar ice to melt, resulting in rising sea levels and climatic changes. Carbon dioxide emissions from the burning of fossil fuels are contributing to the greenhouse effect. In addition, population growth exerts severe pressure on finite resources, and the ecological balance may be upset by uncontrolled deforestation. Demographic projections suggest the world population will continue to grow exponentially, putting extra pressure on depleting resources. Waste disposal is an increasing problem, and toxic waste is contaminating many rivers and seas. Safe water may become an increasingly precious commodity, leading to issues of water security. One of the worst-case scenarios is that there will be no tropical rainforests left by the year 2050. Our only hope is that pristine environments such as Antarctica can be protected from development and damage, so that at least these habitats are preserved.
B. Responses to environmental issues and problems. Look at these newspaper headlines and note the useful phrases.
Governing party in bid to improve green credentials.
Prophets of doom and gloom should listen to scientific evidence, says Prime Minister.
Sustainable development, the only answer for emerging countries, says UN Commission.
Renewable energy. Government develops new strategy.
A. Good service. Read these comments by someone about a company they recently used.
They're a good company. They always make sure you get a prompt reply to any query, and they're very responsive to complaints. When I rang to ask if I could change the delivery date, they were very accommodating and got back to me within 10 minutes with a new date. Whenever I ring, I get impeccable service. They're always very helpful and obliging, whatever the problem is.
B. Adjectives connected with bad service.
Incompetent. Failing through insufficient skill, knowledge or training. For example, it wasn't just bad service, they were completely incompetent. Impersonal. Lacking a personal element or feeling of human warmth. For example, I find some big shops so impersonal. Shoddy. Poor quality of service or of goods. For example, they repaired my car but the work was very shoddy. Substandard. Below the standard expected. Often used about actions. For example, it was a substandard performance altogether for such a big company. Uncooperative. Not supportive, unwilling to work together. For example, the secretary was very uncooperative, so I ended up doing it myself.
There's a huge backlog of orders and they can't deliver for 3 weeks.
They never seem to have any sense of urgency when you ring them. It's exasperating.
They have a helpline, but it's useless. They always put you on hold every time you ring.
The home button on my tablet stopped working, but it was still under guarantee, so I didn't have to pay to get it repaired. The home button on my tablet stopped working, but it was still under warranty, so I didn't have to pay to get it repaired.
C. Service encounters on the internet.
Most big companies offer a secure site where you can set up an account, and they have a privacy policy guaranteeing secure transactions.
The hotel website lets you check availability and has all the information you need on its homepage.
This site has a very good FAQ link, where you can find answers to the most important questions.
This online bookshop is excellent. You can browse, and it has a very good site index.
Most large online stores offer immediate dispatch and a nationwide service. You can also track your order so you know when it will be delivered.
Do you buy clothes online or do you prefer to buy them in store? A. Entering a country.
On arrival in most countries, you have to show your passport or national identity card, possibly a landing card, and often a customs declaration form. You may need a visa and a vaccination certificate, depending on entry regulations. Alternatively, some passengers can use e-passport gates, which make use of facial recognition technology. Customs officers carry out spot checks on people's baggage to find banned or restricted goods and to check that you haven't gone over your allowance. They may use sniffer or detector dogs to detect drugs, tobacco, cash, or explosives. In most cases, you have to clear customs at the port of entry. Some passengers may wish to be recognised as refugees and claim asylum. People who claim asylum in this way are sometimes called asylum seekers.
B. Policing the streets.
The police enforce the law. A police officer can stop and search you if there is a suspicion you are carrying drugs, weapons, or stolen property. The police cannot normally enter your home against your wishes without a search warrant. Many roads have safety or speed cameras to ensure people aren't exceeding the speed limit. Traffic wardens issue parking tickets with fines for illegal parking. The police also use surveillance techniques, including CCTV, closed-circuit television, to monitor public areas such as town centres and airports.
C. Other types of policing. Security forces. Often a name for the army and police working together. Plainclothes police. Police who do not wear uniform. Undercover police. Police who are working secretly using a false identity. Drug squad. Police specially trained to fight the illegal drug trade. Anti-corruption squad. Police specially trained to discover and fight bribery or corruption. Cybercrime. Computer crime. There are many types including cyber terrorism, cyber warfare, and phishing. Phishing is tricking people on the internet to give up personal information, particularly bank account details. A. People and their beliefs.
Adherent of. A person who supports a particular idea or party. Related words. Adherence. To adhere to. Convert to. Someone who has taken on a new set of beliefs. Related words. Conversion. To convert. Fanatic. Disapproving. Someone with a very strong belief that something is great. Related words. Fanaticism. Fanatical. Radical. Someone who believes there should be extreme change, often political. Related words. Radicalism. To radicalize. Reactionary. Disapproving. Someone opposed to change or new ideas. Related words. Reaction. To react.
B. A definition of one belief.
Pacifism. Pacifists seek to eradicate violence and conflict, and they believe that war can never be justified. A key tenet shared by proponents of this way of thinking is that life is precious and should never be wasted. Some pacifists' beliefs derive from their religious views, and some pacifists go as far as to oppose violence in all forms, including in self-defense. There have been several very well-known pacifists throughout history, such as Mahatma Gandhi. who campaigned for Indian independence through using non-violent civil disobedience. His success has inspired others to use peaceful resistance to achieve their goals, including Martin Luther King Jr., a key figure in the civil rights movement in the United States in the 1950s and 60s.
C. Other words and expressions relating to believing.
Emma's viewpoint is that we should just wait and see what happens next. Emma's point of view is that we should just wait and see what happens next.
The boy produced a barely credible excuse for arriving late.
I was incredulous when she told me she was quitting her job to go to New Zealand.
He's very gullible. He believes anything you tell him.
You should try to be less subjective about the situation.
Can't you find a more plausible excuse than that?
Many scholars attribute this anonymous poem to Dante.
I presume that Mina told you what happened.
We should give her the benefit of the doubt.
You should take what he says with a pinch of salt. He's inclined to exaggerate.